Welcome to the Phoenix Prosperity Podcast, where wealth meets legacy. Join your host, Tim Fergestad, as we explore the journeys of Phoenix's finest to success and beyond.
All right. Hello, this is Tim Fergestad. Thank you for joining us. My guest today is Michael DelPrete, a seasoned real estate investor, entrepreneur, and executive director of the Arizona Real Estate Investors Association. Shown for the people watching and not listening on by his background there in the AZREIA studio, which I've been to actually to be on their podcast, which was awesome. Thank you for hosting me there. With more than 700 transactions nationwide, Michael now brings his investing experience into the public arena, focusing on affordable housing, smart growth, and sustainable development here in Phoenix. Welcome to the show, Mike.
Thank you, Tim, for having me. I'm very excited. We had a good conversation on AZREIA show. I look forward to continuing on yours.
Yes, well, I'd like to focus a lot more on you and learn more about your background, kind of maybe what's got you to where you are in the real estate space, and what your future goals are here in Phoenix and with AZREIA. So where would you like to start? Do you want to talk about AZREIA and how that's going?
Hey man, whatever you think the listeners want to hear, man. You know them better than me. So whatever gets the ball moving. I got a lot going on. So
yeah, you do. You got you got a lot of balls in the air.
Hey, just do.
So let's do the Arizona Real Estate Investors Association. I've been going to that for many years. Incredible organization, incredible resources. In fact, I just saw in the real estate paper, I know you guys had won the National REIA recognition, but I saw you in a picture and the inside of that flyer this week. Congratulations. You guys put together an incredible association.
For those that don't know, the Arizona Real Estate Investors Association, we're a trade organization for real estate investors here in the state of Arizona. We have members all throughout the state, from Tucson, the Flagstaff. We have just under 2,000 members. And we've been doing it for 23 years. So we're licensed and accredited through the National REIA. So there's a licensed REIA in every major city and state. So wherever you're listening to this, if you need a reputable source of information, for market information, contractors, other investors, education, you can go to nationalrea.org, to find your city and state. Otherwise, if you're in Arizona, we're the place to go.
For sure. And recognized as, if not the best, one of the best in the nation now.
27-time award-winning recognition. Yes, we just won, and we do our leadership conference every year. It was in New Orleans this year. And yeah, man, out of 200 REIAs, they chose us as the go-to place, man. So really appreciate it. It's a lot of work, and it all boils down to the community and the people, right? So it's like, if the people didn't show up to the events and the education and use the information and be quality landlords and quality fix and flippers, we wouldn't be here so long. So it's for you listening. If you're listening, it's for you. So come on through.
Sure. And it's an incredible resource. If you're interested, if you're new, you just want to dip your toe in, you can see all the different options and learn from all sorts of great people. To Mike's point, there's a lot of great people. But it's also a testament to you guys putting on incredible content. People wouldn't show up in the numbers they do and participate if it wasn't a great organization. So kudos again.
Thank you, man. Okay,
so you've been wearing a few hats in the real estate space. Specifically, how long have you been at the helm of AZREIA?
Well, I took over the organization in September of 2021, but I've been a member here since I started, right? 15 years ago as a real estate investor. I went to my first meeting, the main meeting, and my education, the people I met, the money I raised, the deals I done, a lot of it came through the community here at AZREIA. About 8 years ago, I started, the founder, Alan, allowed me to start doing some trainings and some teachings. So I started getting involved in the community. And then when he was ready to wind down, which we teach here, right? You got to have a starting action plan to get started in the real estate business. And then you also need to divest at some point. You need an exit plan as well. So we help you with all that. So he was exiting his plan just like he taught the organization. And he came up to me one day. He was like, Mike, I think you're the guy. So I was like, so I looked into it, and that's how it started.
All right. That's Alan Langston, right?
Yeah, Alan Langston.
Yep. Shout out to Alan. Thank you, Alan. You helped me get some of my early stuff going as well.
A lot of people quit their jobs or funded their retirement or made lots of money through what he created here,
Right. Yes, for sure. So for people, again, just to sort of bookend that part of the interview, people who want to learn more and maybe attend a meeting and so forth, you have some like a free ticket for them to come check out an event and can give them some more information, maybe a website and where to go.
Yeah, of course. So I don't want to confuse everyone. If you want to go to our main monthly meeting, which is in Venue 8600 in North Scottsdale on the second Monday of the month, you can go to AZREIA.com, AZREIA.com. That gives you a free complimentary ticket to the event to get a feel for us. Get and meet the people, right? And if you can't make it, we give you a link to stream it as well. But otherwise, if you go to our calendar on our main website, AZREIA.org, so I don't want to confuse everybody. But go to our calendar, man. We do 10 events a month.
And can you speak about sort of the range of those events so people know kind of what the options are?
Yeah, the main monthly meeting is for everybody, right? So it's three pillars. It's the education portion. So we always have a speaker or expert panel. Like right now it's February, so we have Fix and Flip February. So we're gonna have the best flippers in town, just sharing their expertise. Next month it's creative financing. So subject to seller carryback wraps, lease options. We'll be talking about that. So there's always education. Then there's market update. Tina Tambor, the Crawford report, comes in. She tells you where we've been, where we're at, and where we're going. This is pivotal to your real estate investing business, knowing what decisions to make. For example, in the COVID boom, all these flippers were speculating right in the market, right? Everyone was getting rich. So it's like, okay, well, once the interest rates doubled overnight and it became leaning towards a buyer's market or, a balanced market, concessions came into play. So the fact that we are telling you concessions are coming back, so when you're underwriting your deals that you're newly getting into, now you could add that $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 in concessions to your budget so you don't lose on the end, right? So little things like that are huge for our industry. So you get the market update, the education, and obviously we do a trade show. So we have what we call business associates. So these are your real estate investing service providers, hard money lenders, title companies, insurance providers, contractors, IRA companies, 1031 exchange companies. So they're here to serve, answer questions. So they have a booth. You get to meet the service provider. So all in one night, you're getting education, market information in your team. Wealth is a team sport, right? So you're getting all that in one night. Then what we have is called subgroups. So at our main meeting, our office in Central Phoenix, we have like a fix and flip group, landlord group, multifamily group, women's group, beginners group. So we have all these separate smaller events. We usually anywhere from 5 to 30 people will show up, and you're with like-minded people on a specific topic.
Right. So that's incredible value, all sorts of great stuff. You guys have brought so many people all together, including the business resources. Check it out.
Yeah, man.
It's a great spot to start if you're unsure where to go, and there's nothing like being in person and being able to directly connect with people.
Thank you.
So why don't you give people a little background about your own real estate investing experience, how you got started and kind of where you're headed?
Yeah, I mean, just like a lot of people, wanting to get into real estate. So it's a popular thing. Like a lot of people watch HGTV, or they want to make chunks of money. They want to make just make changes. They want to quit their job or catch up to retirement, whatever it may be. I was at that spot. I was working 9 to 5 or whatever. Well, let's say I was working 11 to 2, but I was working 50 hours getting paid for 40. And I was just like, you sit there in the cubicle and you're like, I deserve better. I know I want better, right? So it's like you have that gut feeling. But I was watching, ironically, HGTV. Me and my wife were like, wow, that looks fun. It looks exciting. So, but it's like, how do you do that, man? Like, how do you buy a house, bad credit, working 50 hours a week? I can't swing a hammer. And you know what I mean? So it's like, it seems so far out of reach. And the same thing with landlording. Maybe when you were new, Tim, I'm sure you might be able to relate. It's like, okay, you're renting the house out for $1,000 after your mortgage and expenses. Maybe you make 100, $2 a door. How do you get rich? That doesn't make sense. I understand what wealth and long-term holding was at the time. And then, real estate agents, right? Commission based. You got to go shake the trees, chase the deal. I got a mortgage. I got a car payment. I got a kid, brand new kid, right? So new son at the time, right? So how do you do that, man? So I found this word when I was Googling and YouTubing wholesale real estate. No, little money, little risk, whatever it was, 5K in 30 days. And I was like, that sounds like me, right? What is this? So I went down the rabbit hole, found a guy that had 100 free videos on YouTube on how to wholesale real estate. This was at the time, remember, this is 2009. So it's like, if you wanted to get in the real estate business, you had to go to the seminar, pay 10K, get the books, the binders, whatever it was, right? And this was the only guy on YouTube at the time. YouTube was new, Facebook was new, and he had 100 videos. So I watched him, and I was like, "Hey, I'm just going to apply it and see what happens." So long story short, I made $4,500 in 45 days,
Nice.
and I'm like,
And you
"Wow."
were hooked.
I was hooked, man. I was like, I still didn't believe it. I didn't even cash the check right away. I'm like looking at it like, is this illegal? Like, because you got to work 2 months at the time when I was at Verizon Wireless, 10, $12 an hour at the time. So it's like, yeah, it was amazing.
Right.
It really happened.
Right. So once you learned the skill sets in terms of return on your time, you were pretty excited by the opportunity for sourcing and acquiring and reselling or wholesaling the deal. What would you say in terms of sustainability that was, and how long until you did it full time and quit your W-2?
I pinch myself to this day, Tim, and I highly recommend this route because now being in AZREIA, I see new people. Whether you're a doctor, an engineer, or you're deer in the headlights and you're trying to pay your bills next month, I see the same thing happen with thousands of people. The way it worked for me, thank God, is like I started taking action. And you heard the quote, the harder I work, the luckier I get, right? And so I was
Right.
just doing, right? No thinking. I was like a little whiny kid. No, just do it. Can I have it? Can I have it? Just go. No, not worried about anything bad happening. So you got to have that like willingness, right, to try it. So once I figured it out, I was working on my second deal. I had a Google voice number for all, remember the bandit signs, I pay cash for houses, like
Okay.
Craigslist. This is where you're marketing everything. I got a phone call and I would check it on my 15-minute breaks at my job. And the gentleman was like, "Hey, I saw this deal that you got. I'm interested in it." And he gave his name. And I was like, his name and voice sound really familiar. Called him back. I went to high school with him. Okay. And I
Okay.
was like, then you don't see someone in years. It's that first day, "Hey, what's up, buddy?" It's like, old times kind of thing. And then he's like, "What are you doing with this deal?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm trying to wholesale it." He's like, "I've been wholesaling for 5 years." And I'm like, "Okay, cool. All right." He's like, "How about this? Why don't you come down to the office on your next day off and let's catch up and see how we can work together." What I didn't know at that time is he, we call it seeing the invisible. So before we hung up, he said, "Mike, bring every lead that ever told you no." And I was like, "Okay, buddy, they said no. Okay, I'll bring them." 20 pieces of paper, basically, right?
Mhm.
And I brought him in. So why do you think he wanted me to bring those leads in?
Well, they call because they're interested. Right. So they're not cold, they're warm, but
So he could see the invisible. So Tim, if whatever you do or whatever whoever's listening, whatever your job is or you do daily basis that you're an expert at, if your boss or someone said train Mike to do what you do in the next 30 days, you're going to know my hurdles, my frustrations, my challenges, my successes. You might even say, "Hey, Mike's not going to figure this out in 30 days," right? So you could see the invisible. So that's the thing. So he knew I comped it wrong. I estimated repairs wrong. I built rapport wrong. I wrote the wrong offer, all of the above. So jokingly, we call it, he resurrected those 20 leads into four deals. And in less than 4 months, I had 25 grand in my bank account.
Nice.
All
Nice.
because I had a coach mentor. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was literally it. So now I did my first deal, built my confidence. I'm taking action. A mentor comes along, brings this all together. And while I'm working my job, and I'm just like, wow, this is real. So here's what I learned. I used to be in the music business years ago. I used to bring a lot of hip hop concerts to Phoenix. And my job was to sell tickets, right? Get people in a room. I was a marketer. So I was able to make homeowners that wanted cash for their house. I could get my phone to ring. He couldn't. He was an analyzer. He was a closer, right? He could convert. So I brought the traffic in. He converted the traffic, and we both got paid. So that was the relationship. And lucky enough, he was also my mentor at the same time. So I'm like, I'm a sponge. Every time I was on the phone with him, I'll go, if I was in the office, I'm listening to the calls. Within 6 months, I was already training people on how to wholesale real estate.
Okay.
Just by repeating the information and everything I was learning, because there's always someone just right behind you, right? So it's like that's how, like, ever since then I did 30 deals my first year with this gentleman. Changed my life. I quit my job December 12th, 2010. And I never looked back, man.
Awesome.
That's the kickoff.
Great story. Great story. Love it. Love it. So where do you have properties across the country? You have a couple of markets you focus in?
Yeah, but during COVID actually is when as you know, in Phoenix, it's like it's getting more expensive, right? And things weren't penciling like they used to in those days. So it's like, you hear about the Midwest, and hey, you could buy $100,000, get it all in on a remodeled house at $100,000, rent it out for $1,000, great, cap rate, all that stuff. So it's like, I got curious. So,
that's what I did. I went to other markets where the numbers worked better.
Yeah, right. That's all it really was. So I had some friends here in Phoenix that were in Cleveland, Ohio. So I was like, hey, I could probably tap into them, their resources, their knowledge a little bit. So I started doing some research. And my whole plan was, since I've been wholesaling, at the time now, 10 years when, 10, 11 years. And then I'm like, you know what, let me go into Cleveland. I want to buy rentals, but let me start by wholesaling. I know how to market again. I know how to direct mail, cold call, all this stuff. And I'll start building my pipeline. And I'll start checking. Why I'm doing that, I'm going to ask everyone I talk to who their contractor is, who their agent is, who their appraiser is, you name it, right? Then I'm going to go meet other wholesalers, right? And cash buyers. So ultimately, once again, from putting in the work, I met this gentleman, Xavier. He basically was the type of wholesaler that has a huge cash buyer list, but he didn't go direct to seller. So I brought my leads direct to seller to him, and I would say, I tried comping this out, but neighborhoods are so different in the Midwest, anywhere really. Even Phoenix, you can cross a freeway and the values change. So it's like, I would be willing to offer someone like 40 grand. He'd be like, no, Mike, you need to be like at 18. And I'm like, oh my God, why? Right. And then he'll explain why. Here's what's going on in Cleveland. Here's why this neighborhood is different. And now I'm learning the lay of the land through this gentleman. And I was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to lock up the deals. Well, I'll get the leads. You tell me what I need to offer the seller. I'll do the sales process. I'll bring it to you, and you disposition it, and I'll just split the wholesale fee with you, because I'm here for rentals. So I'm getting my marketing costs back. I'm making some money. He's making some money. I'm building a friend. So basically, what I did in the beginning by leveraging some he did with me, like so that year I did 25 wholesale deals in Cleveland from my kitchen table during COVID. And I bought 10 rental properties once I got the understanding.
Of the ones you sourced, you kept 10 of them?
Okay. Yep, correct. So, nice. And then he referred me to the contractor, right? Okay. So now I had a team, property manager, contractor. And so yes, Cleveland was another where I'm at.
Okay. You have stuff here throughout the valley in Phoenix, though, and even Tucson. Is that right?
Well, I did I've done fix and flips in Tucson
Okay.
and some wholesale throughout the years, but mainly I'm in Maricopa County, Phoenix. My wife's a real estate agent. I wholesale. We both fix and flip and buy rentals together. So it's just kind of like our family business.
Okay. Excellent. And in doing all that, you've run into different challenges, particularly locally here, which can you speak to exactly what drove you to want to be going to City Hall?
Yes. Well, one, it started with here at AZREIA, we built an awesome relationship with Commissioner Nicholson over at the Arizona Department of Real Estate, right? So she loves real estate. She's pro real estate, pro business, and she was very supportive of us. We had a great conversation, and we started creating. The problem was like it's always to protect the consumer, right? Here at AZREIA, we do not promote slumlords, right? And same thing, obviously, their job is to protect our residents.
Hmm.
So, but one thing I did notice was like, hey, the wholesaling's on the chopping block, or they want disclosures, or you can't do, not saying you can't, but like there's this pressure against our industry for our strategies. And it's always run by like a bad apple that's a criminal, and they come and use one of our strategies and they take advantage of someone, and it's like, oh, they're using that wholesale strategy, that the whole so the people that are in politics, they don't know what we do, and they don't know why we give low cash offers. You know what I mean? So it's like there's a disconnect of education with either politics, real estate agents, the consumers, like people. The whole idea was awareness and education. We don't
Right.
want more
Right.
statues and all this stuff, right? So that's really where things started to spark. I'm like, well, I probably should be a little bit more heavier on this legislative side as to because you and I, Tim, this is we take so many risks as entrepreneurs, our money,
For
other
sure.
people's money. We're trying to just change our lives, right? Have some of the American dream, and then slowly, that's what I'm really talking about a lot now around AZREIA is like financial freedom, time freedom, pass our legacy down to our kids, help their lives, and just kind of build that lineage. And we all forget that there's laws being passed, longer eviction uh, times, right? Rent control. Now the bill that just passed, did you see HB 2486? I think it was.
Which is that one?
Literally, it'll literally wipe out our industry.
Really?
One, I'll share it with you after this. Like it's not going to pass, but the intention is there, right?
Right.
It's like in sales. Like if I say, hey, the old strategy, you ask for 15 things and maybe you get two or three at the end, you know.
Right.
But that's what happens in politics. They propose these very outlandish things, but a couple of them might stick, right? And every year, our business, right, or even
Right.
just business, not even just real estate, has more red tape, more pressure, and it's just like the small business person, the mom and pop real estate investor, 70% of landlords in Arizona are mom and pop. I own a couple houses. I'm just trying to get my kids through college. I have a mortgage, right? So if someone,
They're and in doing so, they're providing value.
oh,
They're fixing up homes. They're providing places to live. Right. The free market dictates what it's worth. It's not a particularly complicated scenario.
understood. I'm just going to say there's a politician out there. They're a little bit younger than me. They always say how they don't own a house and they've never owned a house, and they rent. Totally fine, cool, but it's like they're saying I can't afford a house because of these investors and these business owners. It's like I've reached out several times. We have this awesome organization with qualified people that will answer and share education. No battles here, right? So you can be
Yep.
educated as to what we do and how we do it and how it serves the community. No one wants to talk, right? So it's like we have these people that don't understand our business making decisions on the future of our livelihoods.
Right.
I want to go in there. Exactly.
Okay, that's awesome. Yes,
There
for
we
sure.
go.
That's every industry, right, needs some sort of representation, right? Some sort of
That's it.
champion to explain, right, and to communicate.
Fair enough. That's all. I just want to be able to have a conversation.
Because I believe everyone's goal is the same, right? We're trying to build stronger communities.
Yep. Stronger communities, better neighborhoods. When people are thriving and they're happy to live there, they respect their neighborhoods, they clean up their neighborhoods, and it's contagious, right? Like, and it all starts with us as landlords. Like, I could walk into any of my tenants' house and have a cup of coffee, right? Like, I'm not some corporate guy that just, your rents and everything's, you're a number
Right.
to the landlord, and then if you're late, you're being an eviction's being filed. Like, we're a different breed here, and I don't think no one listens to that.
Well, as an investor, as a property owner, pretty much everybody knows you want your tenants to be happy. You want to treat them well. You want them to stay because when you don't have somebody there paying rent, you lose money. You have to fix it up for the next person. That costs money. We try to work with them as, we ask them what they want. What do you want? What sort of amenities are you looking for? That sort of thing. We really want them to be happy and what's best for them is best for us.
I agree,
And
man. Like when the media comes out, record eviction filings, they don't go through. All those don't go through.
but even if they did, and that may sound bad, but if none of them paid their rent, right? Oh, those poor people, they don't have a place to stay. It's like, well, yeah, that's a greater problem of them having a job and being able to afford to take care of themselves versus blaming the doctors for providing medical care because the person can't afford the medical care. Those
Yeah,
damn doctors, right?
yeah, yep. That's some responsibility, man. But we're here to help. Like, we don't want to put anyone on the streets. Like, hey, you have
Yeah.
because like you said, if they lose their job or something happens and they're a great family, and they're trying and they're communicating, I'd rather lower the rent than have them move out, right?
Yeah.
Like, it makes no sense. So that's what I'm saying. That's what we do. So we have to share that information.
Yep, for sure, for sure. And we provide resources so they can get assistance. And I own properties in different states and different markets, and there's local support programs everywhere. And often the tenants don't know about it, right? So we try to provide that and help them as well there. Anyway, okay, so these are all challenges, right? And this is a big one you're overcoming by trying to get in there and be part of the system. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So we're running for Phoenix City Council, which is District 6, and the election's November 2026. So District 6 City Council District is north central Phoenix going east to Biltmore to Arcadia. Then for some weird reason it drops all the way down to our Ahwatukee. So if you're in any of those neighborhoods, or you know anybody, you want to learn more about, what I think and what I stand for and how to work with me, volunteer, donate, you can go to delprete4phx.com. Love to answer any questions you have. So
Excellent. Good luck with all that. Well, I'll be promoting and supporting you as well.
thank you.
Do you have is there one big issue or platform you're running off of, or is it just housing for attainable housing in the area?
No, there's more than just housing going on in Phoenix. Obviously we all see the homelessness growing, right? We need to find a pathway for, whether it's the drug addicts or mentally ill, there needs to be resources. Millions and millions of dollars has been spent, and it continually increases every year. Over 600 people die on the streets every year from homelessness. So I think it's definitely a huge problem that needs some new solutions. Yes, housing affordability is one. Big talk is, like, once again, going back to the middle housing and people like us in our business. For example, I had a developer friend. He wanted to build a triplex in the low income area. The city wanted a $150,000 sewer line added. Kills the deal,
Right.
right? So he had to build a single family. So there would come in a total of 3 new houses, affordable workforce housing that can come to our market. But there's got to be there's a disconnect there. There needs to be a conversation there about that. There was 50,000 new units built by the city of Phoenix. They hit the goal. They were celebrating. Wonderful. But after doing the research, less than 22% were affordable and workforce. The rest were luxury apartments, which they're still building. I'm all about pro growth. I'm pro housing. But we need the right product for the residents, right? The luxury units are vacant, right? How's that helping our neighbors, right? So, so I would say, the budget, taxes were raised last year, property taxes went up. So little things like that. I feel if we had the budget under control, building the right product, a lot of things can change. I just want to be a part of those solutions with new, fresh ideas.
Excellent. And thank you for doing that. I appreciate you spending your time and energy to try to make a difference there.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
It's awesome. Okay, so on that front, what's sort of the biggest hurdles to getting there? You have some stuff coming up this year. You got to get on the ballot. You have to get things signed. You have to raise some money to get the word out.
Yeah, yep, all the above, right? So that obviously what I'm learning. I'm a business owner, 20 years as an entrepreneur, and I know how to start a business, buy business, sell business. But this is another business, right? Like creating a campaign, right? You got to build a team. You have a goal, you have a vision, you have a message. You got to get your team, your volunteers, your support, and obviously it costs money to run a business and run a campaign. And literally, I'm learning so much in this world. It's all about money, man. And it's just like, if you look at, politicians, they raise a lot of money. They have, whether it's from the neighborhood or corporate donors or out of state, there's all these different levels of way money comes in. I'm just being myself. I'm talking to my community. I'm talking to my neighbors. From what I see, it looks like I'm going to probably be outspent big time. But I know I'm going to be more strategic and I'm going to work harder. And so anything anyone listening can do to support, it is a donation, volunteer work, door knocking, phone calls, whatever. If you like what I stand for and you get to know me, that's the hurdle. That's going to be it. All
right. Good stuff, Mike. Thank you.
Thank you.
So if people want to connect, learn more about AZREIA and your campaign and stuff, I believe the website was AZREIA.org or AZREIA.com for the comp ticket to get into one, and then DelPrete for PHX.com. Is that
you got it? Perfect. Yeah, I'm easy to find on social media. Just look up Michael DelPrete. Whether it's the campaign, my personal AZREIA, I'll be easy to find. Just Google Michael DelPrete real estate. I'll pop up.
Excellent. Incredible value you're providing for everybody through AZREIA and hopefully for the city. Excellent.
Awesome. Thanks, Tim, for having me.
All right. Yeah, thank you. And thank you, everybody, for listening and watching. Thanks again, Michael DelPrete, for joining us today.
Inspired by our guests? Visit PhoenixProsperityPodcast.com/guest and join us on the show and share your success story with Tim. The spotlight awaits.